Hello friends, this is the continuation of our HTML5 series. So in this tutorial, we will learn about the exciting new feature of drag and drop. So drag and drop is a very common feature. It happens when you grab an object and drag it to a different location. You might have seen the drag and drop feature in all the modern shopping carts, when you can drag a product and drop it onto the shopping cart. In HTML5, drag and drop is a part of the standard. An element is draggable. It might seem complicated, but let us go through all the different parts of a drag and drop event. So this is the code. You can see some of the JavaScript and styling has also been applied here. So if you are not familiar with JavaScript, you can always go back and look at our JavaScript tutorials. So our objective here is to drag an image and drop it onto a container. So in this case, our container is the division and the draggable element is the image. So this is the image. First of all, to make an element draggable, set its draggable attribute to true. So we are setting the draggable attribute of the image to true. Then look at the JavaScript function. The function that is called on drag start is the drag, and event is the argument which is passed. So on drag start we call the drag function. So this is the drag function. In this example, the on drag start attribute or event calls a function which specifies what data to be dragged. Inside the body of the drag function, we are implementing the method setData. SetData method sets the data type and the value of the dragged data. So in our case, the data type is text and the value is the ID of the draggable element. So our next question is where to drop the draggable data. So in this case we are dropping the data onto the division. So it specifies the data that can be dropped. By default, data elements cannot be dropped in other elements. To allow a drop, we must prevent the default handling of the element. That's why we are calling the onDragOver event which fires allowDrop function. So basically the allowDrop functions overrides the default behavior and allows an element to be dropped. This is done by the event.preventDefault method for the onDragOver event. Now the last function is the drop function. It requires one argument. What it specifies is when a drag data is dropped, a drop event occurs. So here goes the body of the function. It defines what to be done when we are dropping an element. So in first case it overrides the default behavior, then it retrieves the data which is set by the previous method dataTransfer.setData. So it retrieves the attribute and data types. Then at last it appends the element to the target element. So our target element in this case is division, which is appended with the image. So in between here the image will be shown. So let us preview this script in any HTML5 compliant browser.